Hey guys, thanks for taking time to check out our videos. This past weekend at church we had texture questions, and we weren't able to get to all the questions. We love the questions. We love the live interaction. But we want to finish out some of the questions, and so we're going to start with a series of videos answering some of those questions. And the first question is this: are non-Christians obligated to live a Christian lifestyle? That's a good question and a tough question, one that can't be answered with a simple yes or no. You see, the truth is, all truth is God's truth. And so because of that, when we look at our laws, even our secular laws, a lot of them have their foundation in Judeo-Christian values. That's why even in our country, you'll go to different, maybe older courthouses and older government buildings, and they'll have Bible verses or even copies of the Ten Commandments, because we realize there has to be some measure of objective truth. And if all truth is God's truth, then when God gives the Ten Commandments and gives laws like thou shalt not kill, we shouldn't commit adultery, we shouldn't steal, we shouldn't bear false witness, those are general principles that are true for everybody, and everybody should want to observe those things that come from the moral fabric of who God is. However, we realize that as followers of Jesus, there are specific commands given to us that maybe should be applied to everybody else. And we're in danger as a church when we start to teach those things as truth for everybody. In fact, in 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 12, it says this: "For what have I to do with judging outsiders? Is it not those inside the church whom you're to judge?" It says there is an objective standard for insiders of the church that doesn't need to be met by those that are outside of the church. And so we have to be careful not to do that. And the reason why that is so important is because sometimes we can reduce Christianity to a set of objective standards and rules, and everyone says, well, that's what Christianity is all about. And because of that, when we look at the core message of the gospel, which is to point people to Jesus and his death, that's what Christianity is about. And when we reduce it to a set of rules and principles, we reduce the gospel to rules and not to the relationship that Jesus brings to our lives. And so we have to be very careful to realize that God cleans up our life, that Jesus, because of the grace of Jesus, he cleans up our lives. But our goal should be to point people to Jesus, even those outside the church, simply to point them to Jesus. Not to point them to a specific rules or a standard by which we live, but to point them to Jesus. And if he wants to clean them up and sort that out, that's his responsibility. So short term, yes, there are some objective things that are true, but long term, there are specific commands to believers that are not true for non-believers. So there is a higher standard for those who are believers.